So hi, I'm here today talking to Karan, who's a product line manager for the SOM line at Xilinx, which you'll notice has just been released today and looks really exciting. So we've got a few questions that I'd like to ask you. The first one really is, can you just give us a little sort of the 30-second sort of elevator pitch as to what the SOM is, a little bit of history as to how it came about?
Sure, Adam. I think firstly, thanks for inviting me to this, and thanks for having interest in the SOM launch. So the SOM products went out today live today morning in Eastern time here in USA. So we're excited to know that customers are looking at it and it has very good offerings. So the SOM products are called Kriya. Kriya is a term that relate to continuous innovation. So Kriya is Xilinx's newest product offering of production ready SOMs. The Kriya SOMs harness the traditional Xilinx advantages in terms of power, performance, adaptability delivered as a system on module. These are production deployable adaptive modules that enable developers of edge-based applications to speed through the design phases and develop software in the familiar design environments. The tagline for Kriya Adaptive SOM is accelerating innovation at the edge, which it truly does. So Xilinx has been building boards for mass production for over a few years with our Alveo accelerator cards. But you may not know something is that we inherited a small portfolio of products from our acquisition of DeFi in 2018, like specifically August 2018. We acquired a company called DeFi and they had Xilinx-based SOM, which are not exactly new, but they had a regional-based offering. So we are trying to use that regional-based offering as a point of contact and make out a global offering directly from SOMs from Xilinx in-house. So given that our partners are also making SOMs in the market, so we have a strong experience, strong demand from customers, and they are building on that foundation to create a good global market offering of SOMs.
Thank you very much. That's really interesting. I never realized it came.
Yeah.
It was you were doing the SOMs with DeFi. Now you mentioned it, obviously it makes a bit of sense. So one of the things I want to say, so it really looks with these SOMs like you're targeting you're making it really easy. You're trying to make it really easy for the AI and software developers to hit the ground running and start working with this product. Obviously, it's as an engineer, it's really difficult to make something look easy. There's a lot of engineering that's gone into the background to make it look easy. So do you want to explain a little bit about what you hope the out-of-box experience is going to be like, and how easy it is to take that out-of-box experience and start creating my own sort of algorithms and applications and experimenting with it?
Sure. So with the SOMs, the hardware is given. All you're doing is that is swapping the AI models with your own AI models. The concept is of accelerated applications on the SOM is the real star of Kriya value proposition. Xilinx and our partners are building a library of applications on the Xilinx App Store. And you can think of them as production-grade reference designs for customers to use on the SOMs itself. So each pre-built application transforms the K26 SOM to be a security camera, a retail camera, or an AI box, anything that you want with the SOM and the application you choose. So same as K26, just different hardware and different hardware accelerators built for the purpose of the users. So users don't have to do any FPGA design from scratch. The apps shown on the App Store are like the Smart Camera app supports all the models in the Xilinx Model Zoo. The expectation for the developer is to write the application software utilizing the functions and the features of the application itself. Beyond that, if the AI model needs to be upgraded, the users can do that without doing an FPGA design or rebuild. And beyond that, still a customization is offered to users to edit the hardware, modified according to the peripherals and sensors they choose, and use Vitis and Vitis AI and its libraries for pre-custom and post-processing applications on their own data. So AI developers can simply update the model using their preferred framework, can use the face detect, the SSD, all neural networks available in the market right now for AI modeling. And embedded software developers can code with existing hardware accelerators. There's an option to modify and replace with Vitis or Vitis AI.
Excellent. So I mean, I checked out because it's all gone live now. So I checked out the App Store earlier on, and I was it looks really nice, and obviously you've got a board on the way to me, so I can't wait to get hold of it and sort of try it out and see how easy it is to swap in and around. One of the things I did notice when we talked about this last week, actually, one of the things you did mention is that the device, which I found quite interesting, actually, is that the device on the SOM is is specific to the SOM, so it's not on the normal Xilinx line card. So it's specific to the SOM. So is there anything unique about it? I mean, does it still have the Mali GPU and the R5 in there, or is it very radically different?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. So very few people figure that out. But the K26 SOM is still based on the Zinc UltraScale plus MPSoC architecture. It still features a quad-core ARM A53 processor. It has the R5 real-time processor and the graphics processor as ARM Mali 400. The device used is called XCK26, which is a custom-built Zinc UltraScale plus device. It runs optimally and exclusively on the K26 SOM, so it's not available for chip down, and it's only available with our K26 SOM products. So with the growth in the SOM market, customers are naturally hitting a wall with microprocessor and GPU-based solutions. And this leaves a gap for high performance and more flexible solutions. These are specifically areas where Xilinx can thrive. So this is particularly very true in the vision AI space that we're currently seeing very much in demand right now. So our MPSoC device that customers can purchase for chip down are already amazing and full of capabilities. We're taking all the good parts from there, optimizing the chip itself for vision AI specific applications. It's like taking our capabilities of the silicon device to a whole new level with the SOM boards. So this specifically built device for the K26 SOM has 256K system logic cells and it translates to 1.4 teraops per second AI processing and has encode and decode capabilities built in. So it's a complete package. You can use it on the SOMs only. Unfortunately, not for chip down because of positioning SOM for vision AI, smart city, and for smart factory applications.
No, that makes sense. But the SOMs where the SOM, I mean, I'm a big fan of the SOMs. You know, the entire my blog's actually named after one. Okay, it's now a competing SOM, but you know that SOM concept I think is really really quite exciting and quite good. One thing obviously that does come with SOMs is obviously you've got the developer kit, the starter kit, you know, and you've got the SOM mounted on there, and I can create my applications. I can create my applications with it really nicely and easily. And then there comes a day that I want to move from, you know, my development kit to production. So when it comes to working out my power budgets and performance and such like that, how much thought have you put into being able to just sort of do the power management of that, you know, of that SOM, the power budgeting of that SOM, so as I can accurately flow it through into the rest of my production system, shall we say?
That's again a really good question. So with the SOM and the starter kits, we're introducing something called as a SOM utility tool. This utility tool is called XMUtil. It's a package that allows users to measure platform stats like power, CPU utilization, frames per second metrics. And those are based on the applications run the SOM. So very simple package. It's a front-end user interface for SOMs. It's called Platform Management XMUtil. You can identify the board. You can do real-time SOM power consumption measurements. You can do performance monitoring. You can do QoS configuration. So a lot of options available in the platform management tool. Additionally, performance metrics like latency can also be done on the edge. You can use DST Shark installation, which will provide instructions to do benchmarking as well. So also even for accurate power budget measurements, we have a new PDM tool, which is the Power Design Manager, that will be available to support the new K26 SOMs. So it's a brand new tool that customers can use from our launch. You can get access to that tool itself. So customers can have a smoother path to design the custom carrier cards and do the power measurements very accurately. Also, one more thing to note is that apart from the platform utility tool, which is already amazing, we also have Jupyter Notebook integration. So Jupyter Notebooks are something that software developers are already looking at. They're very familiar with. So we're ordering additional support from the Jupyter Notebook side as well. So they can customize it even at a more higher level.
That's really interesting. So I'll ask a question, and we don't have to put this out there. Is Pink supported on this SOM, or is it not, or is there no, or is it just sort of the PETA Linux flow?
Yeah, I think we have plans to support Pink as well. Our in-house teams are working on supporting Pink. So Pink will also be coming soon. Right now for the starter kit and the SOM itself, we have the Yocto-based PETA Linux recipe. So it's right now PETA Linux, but we have a plan to enable Ubuntu as well. So Ubuntu is also a very exciting thing that's coming to SOM post-launch. So you can look out to our blogs or articles that Ubuntu will be supported on the SOMs. The plan is to have it by summer, and we're on track on development to enable Ubuntu on the SOMs as well. Now users have two options. They can use the traditional PETA Linux flow. They can use the Ubuntu flow as well.
Excellent. That's quite. I'm really looking forward to getting one and having an experimentation and play with one. It looks really exciting, to be fair. And I have to say, I particularly like the fan. I really do like that fan that goes over the top. I was, you know, maybe I should have been an architect or an artist. Or I was looking at it thinking that looks really nice. But no, I mean, thank you very much for coming in and having a little chat with us. I think hopefully everybody will have found it quite interesting, and I'm sure we can get some people to start using using the SOMs and exploring with them, and hopefully we can get them to start sharing their views and comments and thoughts and their applications as well. I'm quite interested in the Edge app, the Edge App Store. I think that's really that's really quite exciting. I think and you have something similar, I think, for Alveo as well recently. So I think it's
that's correct. So I think we are using the same Xilinx App Store. We bifurcate into two categories: one applications for Alveo that are based on x86, and one for SOMs that based on Edge applications. It's like the same App Store concept, but for now two products, Alveo and Kriya.
So yeah, so like I say, I'm a big fan of the SOM concept. Obviously, the blog's named after one. Actually, I said that earlier on. But what I really want to know is, what, and I have my own views on this as to why I tell everybody to go buy a SOM if they're doing FPGA development. But I'd like to know, what's the benefits that Xilinx see? What are the benefits that Xilinx see that the SOM brings to developers and to people trying to create systems?
Sure. I think when you look at SOMs, like what they essentially do is that they abstract the hardware so developers can design at a much more evolved stage. Like when you compare against chip down, so designing at the board level instead of the chip level. So that's one of the key differences. Hardware designers tend to love SOM because they can avoid the lower value design work, since we have pre-built most of the standard peripherals onto the SOM. And software developers tend to like SOMs because they can start the work in parallel with the hardware team right out of the gate. Like when you look at most common companies, when they start designing their hardware, the software team has to wait for the hardware team to deliver prototypes. The software team already loses some work to get get started with the work out of the gate. So with the SOMs, both the teams like hardware and software can start in parallel. You don't have to wait for each other to complete their part of the effort. So combining these with the production-ready nature of SOMs, it leads to enormous time-to-market benefits. You can get faster to the market and get faster to revenue as well. So in addition to these key benefits, you have reduced development effort versus chip down. You benefit from simplified operational flow as well. You don't need to invest nearly as much effort on component management and inventory management for things like memories, which go EOL pretty often in 2 or 3 years. So we manage those difficult things for you. And this inventory management savings will also lead to reduced BOM cost, which is another operational advantage. And you also benefit from the longer life cycle of SOMs. This is a minimum of 5 to 10 years. So it's like a lot of benefits with the SOM approach versus chip down. And even you can do amazing things with the flexibility and expandability that it offers.
That's really good. Obviously, I always tell people that it's that design time that it saves you, and that being able to start in the parallel, start parallel developments. I must admit, I'd not thought quite as much actually about the points that you made about sort of, managing obsolescence, end of life, configuration, or all that obviously is a big benefit, benefit to us all. So we've talked about the SOM, obviously. We've talked about a little bit about Alveo and a few other things. So I'm going to be really cheeky now and ask you, so what else are you guys working on? And is there anything you'd like to share with us? To give us a sneak peek of what's perhaps coming up or what you're perhaps thinking about.
Yeah, I'll let some secrets out over here. So there are more SOMs in the future coming to the portfolio. After the K26, we plan to have a cost optimized SOM that's meant for electric drives and those applications. It will be a very small form factor again, and it's cost constraint for these applications. Then after the cost optimized SOM, we have a highest compute SOM, which will have real-time compute per watt performance superior for AI applications. So you can go to the Kriya product page. You can click the button that says stay informed of upcoming Kriya products. You can get updates from Xilinx on these two products as well. This is right now in the planning phase, and it's far from calling out as when do we ship it, but it's very much in the planning. We're hitting the ground running with our plans, making sure that we meet the customer requirements and plan the product correctly as we did for the K26. And letting one more big cat out of the bag here is that there's going to be a robotics starter kit coming out at the end of the year that's based on the K26 SOM. It's aimed towards robotics enthusiasts, like new and experienced developers using the robotics operating system, like ROS. So it's similar idea over here is to be up and running in less than an hour, launch a robotics application right out of the gate when you unbox the kit as well. So stay tuned for more exciting developments on the Kriya SOMs, especially the robotics starter kit that's coming end of the year.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get one of those robotics things. That sounds really, that sounds
Yeah.
really exciting. That'd be quite cool. Well, thank you. Obviously, thank you very much for, spending what I'm sure is a busy day with you, busy
Yeah.
day for you today. So thank you very much for spending 20 minutes or so chatting with me about this. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this SOM and experimenting with it. So I'll stop recording there. So thank you very much, Kiran, for coming and talking to us. And yeah, I'm sure you'll be seeing lots of stuff coming out on my blogs and Hackster projects and such like with the board in the next few weeks. So it'll be
Thanks,
quite
Adam, for
exciting.
scheduling this. I think really pleasure talking to you. I'm really looking forward to the blogs as well. Like I've been a big fan of you looking at your articles on Versal and the previous products. So I'm really excited to see what you come out with.